How you doing, lads? It's Coach Tregs here, the founder of 30 Plus Men's Fitness, and I hope you're all doing great. So today I want to talk about N.E.A.T. That's N-E.A.T. What is it? Well, the actual title is Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis. It's also been known to be called Non-Exercise Associated Thermogenesis. So what is it? I'm going to tell you what it is now and give you a sort of bit of a backstory about my experiences with it and why it's kind of like a big buzzword in the industry right now in 2017. So we all have certain levels of N.E.A.T, which I'll sort of delve into in a little bit. But first off, guys, I want to tell you a little bit about how I discovered how greatly N.E.A.T and your levels of N.E.A.T can affect your fat loss. Okay, so guys, last year in 2016, I spent a great 8 months working with my friend and mentor Renzo, doing some great training together. And he used to talk about N.E.A.T and the importance of N.E.A.T all the time, especially when we launched the Body Sculpt Blueprint program. Now, it sort of went over my head at the time. He was always saying, you need to walk, you need to do your cardio, etc., etc. And it was just kind of going over my head because, I come from a bit of a background of just like loving the interval training, all right? So at Christmas in 2016, I took 2 weeks off coaching. Now, normally I'm very busy coaching all the time, on my feet. I'm very active, I'm on my feet all the time. Now, I took 2 weeks off at Christmas, spent it with my family, ate, drank, and was merry. And, I had a good December anyway. I had a really good social life. I was going out boozing. So on like the 28th of December, I wasn't too surprised to see that I'd gained probably about 6 to 7 pounds. And that wasn't all fat, but it was some weight gain. Now, I don't tend to go by the scales all the time, but they're a decent enough marker, especially at times like Christmas. We want to see the sort of damage we've done. So basically, from the 26th, I think, or from Boxing Day onwards, I just said, right, no more booze. I had a lot of family stuff going on. I was on the road quite a lot. So I decided not to drink. I also got back to doing some sort of like body weight, kettlebell, HIIT workouts in the yard, and went back to sort of eating better, less calories, cleaner foods, if that's what you want to call it. Well, normally the weight would come sort of straight back off, and I'd go back into the gym when I started coaching, and it would all be back to normal. But this time, it seemed to take ages. It seemed to, even after going back to eating better and doing my body weight and kettlebell workouts, it didn't come off as quickly as it had in the past. Within 2 to 3 days of being back in the gym doing my one-to-one coaching in January, now of course January is extremely busy, without doing any real extra hard workouts, my weight was back to what it had been pre-Christmas. And I was talking about this to a fellow coach who's a sports scientist at Cardiff University, and he said, yeah, that's your N.E.A.T. Your N.E.A.T has gone up. This is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's gone up because you're back in work and you're on your feet. And when he said this to me, I was like, yeah, this is basically what Renzo has been telling me, which I wasn't paying any attention to. So I bought my partner a Fitbit for Christmas. I then went out and bought one for myself. And this is when I kind of got addicted to the Fitbit and hooked on this whole gamification thing. And the thing is with N.E.A.T, right, guys, is that N.E.A.T is basically the movement that you are doing on a day-to-day basis on top of your exercise, right? We want you to lift weights, we want you to do body weight training, train with kettlebells, but the N.E.A.T is critical as well. So I ask you, what do you do for a living? Are you sedentary? Because if you're sedentary, you're office-based and you're driving, your N.E.A.T is going to be a lot lower than, for example, someone who's a postman, who's got an active job. Renzo actually tells a great story about when he started his bodybuilding. He was a postman for a living. So he'd lift his weights, but he'd be walking all day with a heavy rucksack and full gear on. That was his N.E.A.T, that was his cardio. His N.E.A.T was extremely high. Now, N.E.A.T can be chasing after the kids. It can be walking up and down steps. It can be putting the washing out, walking to the shops. All these things will contribute to upping your N.E.A.T. And here's the great thing about N.E.A.T is that, say for instance, we were asked you to lift weight and do interval training every day. That's not going to be sustainable simply because of the demand that it puts on your body. Okay, guys, it's going to put you, it's going to lead to a lot of inflammation and you may not recover. However, if you're fully and able-bodied, you should be able to put one step in front of the other. So if you are wondering how to increase your fat loss, all right, first off, then you need to look at moving more and starting to increase your NEAT. Now, we've been really pushing this in 2017. A lot of our clients have gone out and got Fitbits, Garmin's, sort of activity trackers, and we have actually just come up with something called Beat My NEAT, which is a creation of one of our coaches, Ozzy from Cardiff. He's put it together, and we're trialing it now in one of our 6-week programs. Now, when I bought my Fitbit, although I was pretty active, it actually forced me to become more active. I kind of got hooked on getting that 10,000 steps a day, and there were days that, I was on my feet in the gym, but I was making sure that in between clients I'd go out for a long walk, or I'd leave the car and walk to work, etc. All these little things increases our NEAT. And the great thing about it is it doesn't put that stress, it doesn't put that demand on the body like high intensity interval training or resistance training does. So you can actually increase your NEAT. If you increase your NEAT by, say, 50% of a week, that is going to lead to a lot of extra calories expended. Now, obviously, when you up your NEAT, remember this is kind of like low intensity stuff. It's moving, it's getting up and down off the sofa, it's getting in and out of the car, it's going up and down the stairs, okay? So you're not going to get a huge after effect, as in, increased calorie expenditure from doing the NEAT, but that doesn't matter, because if you're doing your NEAT and you're upping your NEAT and you're doing it across the day anyway, that is going to lead to more total calories expended. There's been some days, guys, that I've covered over 30 kilometers because I've been walking everywhere. That, combined with training my clients and lifting weights, has allowed me to expend almost 5,000 calories on some days. Now, look, guys, we all burn calories. Okay, we have something called a base metabolic rate, which is the rate at which you burn calories just living and breathing. We're all living and breathing organisms, right? So based on my weight, it's slightly over 14 stone, my height, my age, my base metabolic rate is 1,900 calories. That's if I just lay and did nothing all day. Now, of course, I don't do that. I'm very active. I'm a coach. I've got 2 little boys, and I'm on my feet all day. So on an average day, I can burn between 3,500 calories and 4,000 calories, because I'm generally hitting 15,000 steps a day. If I go under that, then my calorie expenditure will decrease. If I go above that, then my calorie expenditure or my calorie output increases. All right, guys, so this is a great thing. All right, guys, the law of thermodynamics said that, in order to lose weight, we need to expend more than we put in, okay? So we need to burn more than we take in. And the great thing about these activity trackers is they can sort of give you a rough guide of where you are each day. So look, if you want to lose weight, you either eat less or you move more. If you do a combination of the both, then it's win-win. And that's why it is absolutely critical to try and increase your NEAT. I read something the other day which was really interesting. It said, what do bodybuilders do when they reach really low levels of body fat, and it just sort of, they've stopped losing any body fat, but they still want to lose more? Do they train harder? No, they go out and they increase their NEAT because they're doing everything else that they can do to lose body fat. All right, they're dieting hard, they're lifting weights. So what's the other variable they can tweak? They can increase their NEAT. The great thing is, guys, and this is my own personal experience, if I'm high intensity interval training every day, that will lead me to be very hungry. I literally can't cope with the hunger from doing some serious interval training. If I increase my NEAT, my walking doesn't necessarily make me go as wild for food. Okay, guys, so have a think about this. When you're looking at people and thinking, oh, he's a lucky sod, he's got a fast metabolism, he can eat what he likes and he can burn calories. Look, guys, unless you've got a diagnosed metabolic syndrome, you have not got a low metabolism. All right, look around you, and those people that you think are lucky, it's kind of, maybe they're on their feet all day. Maybe they got a job where they're standing. Maybe they're walking a lot more than you. It's not a maybe. That's real life. You can't escape that, all right? That's science. Okay, guys, so look, can you increase your NEAT, okay? Can you get out more on the weekend and go for long walks with the family? I said this on a recent video. I am an active dad, but having a Fitbit and learning more about non-exercise activity thermogenesis has made me even more active. In fact, having the Fitbit has shown me that I'm probably not as active on the weekends as I am in the week when I'm coaching, and it's forced me to be more active and in return, I'm getting out a lot more and exposing the kids to fresh air. It's a win-win, guys. I get them off the screens and we go for long walks, all right, guys? So think about this. How can you increase your NEAT? Can you walk to work? Don't tell me you don't have the time, guys. I've been doing a 95-minute walk to work recently. It's fantastic. I get clarity. I listen to stuff in my earphones, podcasts. I just have to get up earlier. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Do I feel great? Yes. Mentally, yes. Physically, yes, because I expend a lot of calories. So can you walk to work? Can you walk on your lunch break? How about taking the stairs more rather than the elevator? What about a cycle? All these things will increase your NEAT. There's actually been studies shown, guys, that there are certain populations in the world where people are so much leaner than in other populations simply because their NEAT is through the roof. They're out, they're picking their foods, they're busy on their feet all day, grafting in the home, walking to the shops, basically doing everything. All right, guys? Now, we live in a society where, you know, we can be lazy if we want. Everything is done at the touch of a button. All right, you can order a pizza, you can order food, you just tap it in onto your phone, you can have pretty much anything you want. And this is what's making us fatter, this is what's making us more lazy, guys. You need to get up, and you need to increase your NEAT. My advice would be, start trying to hit 10,000 steps a day. Think about all those moments in the day where you can start to up your activity. I'm not talking about gym, I'm not talking about high intensity interval training, I'm talking about regular walking to and from the shop, getting off the tube earlier, getting off at the bus stop earlier, walking to work. All right, guys, think about it. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis is upping that is a great tool to have in your fat loss kit. Everyone's talking about it now in 2017, and when you actually start to understand and comprehend how easy it is, all right, and you build that into your day-to-day life and training, your fat loss is gonna get accelerated. And yeah, that's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like it, please share it, and yeah, hopefully we get this message out. Increase your NEAT, guys. Take care, keep trucking.